So we do have minutes that were sent out to you. Because we don't have a quorum, we can't really vote on anything, but we can kind of walk our way through. So just take a look. If there's any changes, please let us know, and then we will look at them again at our next meeting and approve them at that time. Um, so the team, Diane and Andy and Matt, have been working on the documentation for getting lease information. So I'm going to actually turn it over to one of them. I'll stop my screen share and see if they want to bring up the form. I think they sent it out to you as well, so that you can take a look at it and see if you have any questions. But Andy, did you want to maybe talk a little bit about it? And I'll stop my screen share here.
Sure, I can bring the form up probably a little more easily. Is that okay with you, Diane? And
Yeah. So I guess we didn't really introduce, I think Allison and Bob, you know each other, right? So, and I'm Linda, and then I have Andy Whitewing here with me and Diane Wood. They're both team members for the assessor's office working with this program.
okay, I'm working on this. Hang on just one moment.
And as you can see, I'm working from home, so I do have my farm sign up on my wall.
Yes, you do.
Okay, now let's see if I can make this share thing work.
Bob, do you have
There it is.
Eric's cell phone number?
Do I have whose cell phone number?
Eric's, Fritch? I
Yes.
think he would make quorum, right? We need 3
Here we go.
for quorum.
Okay.
Because
I
he's
saw he
on-
bounced out of the ag meeting a little early, so I'm not
Yeah, I
sure, but
wasn't sure.
I'll text him real quick to
Okay,
see.
I emailed him, but I figured text is probably better.
Yeah.
Even if he could pop on for quorum would be cool.
I'm using my phone at the same for this same thing. Let's see if I can do 2 things at once. Let's find out.
Is this zoom in level adequate for everyone?
I can see it.
Okay,
And I have a copy in hand.
did you want me to wait for that call before we start?
I was just thinking if we could at least get quorum, I think we can catch him up on
Sure.
the form. But
So while we wait for that, Allison, Matt asked me to check in with you about, he's still working on compiling the list of equestrian properties for you.
okay.
And he wants to know your input. Like, would you just like a sampling, like a group of them from each of the various regions, or do you want all of them and then you'll pick out which ones you want to do? Or
It's probably easier for him if he sends me all versus trying to pick them out, right? Or
okay,
whatever's easiest for him. I can sort through it or whatever works for him.
okay, I'll give that feedback to him.
Yeah,
And
so
then,
if it's all or some, doesn't matter to me.
okay, thank you.
Now we lost Bob.
Yeah.
I know.
Sorry.
Right. Am I back?
Oh, no,
Yeah.
you're there. You're here. We can hear you.
Okay. I just sent that text.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. I mean, we can start. I just thought might as well try
Sure.
to get that off if he's available, even just for a minute.
Sure. And
Go for it, Andy.
I
Yep.
don't know if Diane wants to take the helm on the discussion or not. Do you want to check in with her? Okay. Maybe not.
Looks like it's you.
Okay, she can jump in anytime though. Just
Yeah.
okay. So we wanted to make this as user friendly as possible, but also get all the information that we need. So just know that if you can't complete all the fields, it's okay. Don't stress out about that. Just leave it blank if you don't have access to the information. But the more information you get, the more helpful it is. So do what you can. With the map, it's at such a high level aerial that you could easily, if you know where you are relative to the map when you're talking about a particular lease, just give us an X that give us like rough idea of where in the county the property is. That'll be helpful enough. And that is also anonymous enough that it can't be identified to any particular parcel or ownership. And then if you could say a little bit more about the location, like is it in a particular river valley, close to a particular water body or a neighborhood or named area, like just outside of Sultan or in the town of, or I'm not even sure if it's a city, Gold Bar. Is it actually a municipality? I'm still learning. Something like that, whatever's and is helpful just to give us an idea of which area it is generally located in. And then we're going to ask you to be kind of an appraiser if this information is available. The land in question. What's the topography like there? Is it, and we gave you some examples of the kinds of descriptors that we'd be looking for: level, sloped, hilly, upland, lowland, anything like that. You don't have to just use those terms, but that's just to give you some ideas of what we mean by topography. If it's known what the quality or type of soil is, and again, these are just some examples of commonly used ones in this county: silt, gravel, muck, loam, sand, clay, peat, or some mixture thereof. Again, if it's not known, don't worry about it. What's the general shape of the land? That should be pretty simple. The farmer will probably know that. It also kind of gives us an idea of the ease with which it is maintained or accessed, especially if there are croplands on it. Feel free to interrupt at any time if questions come up as well.
Andy, for shape, you mean like boundary lines?
Yeah, like if we were looking at an aerial of that parcel, is it a rectangular shape or triangular, or is it really, really irregular? That
Right,
kind of,
boundary lines. Okay.
yeah, just generally. Um,
Hi,
and
Eric.
then
Thanks for
Hey,
joining
sorry
us.
about being late.
Sorry. So Andy is going over the form right now.
Yep.
Go ahead, Andy.
okay, so we'll continue and then we can circle back if there are questions. Under current use, we want to know what is happening on that leased land like right now. Is there animal grazing? Is there hay or corn that's being grown for silage, for example? Is it an equestrian operation? If so, what kind? Is it like a training, boarding? Um, there's all kinds of possibilities there, just as much as detail as you have. If there are crops in place, what kind are there? If there's a rotation going on this land, can you give us an idea of like what the crops are that are being rotated through on it and how often? Um, just get what you can. And then the lease terms, these are actually pretty important. Largely the amount of the lease, how many acres are in the lease, the period of the lease, like how long is this for, and if it's available, the start and end date of the lease. That lets us know if it's kind of nearing its end and the values were established a long time ago, or is it pretty current value. Whether or not the lease includes any machinery, equipment, or buildings in addition to the use of the land. That will help us know, like, I think an example that was given at the last meeting was a very high amount, but it did include buildings, machinery, and equipment. And if so, which things are included? And if there is more than just the land being leased, what is the estimation of the owner of how much of that lease amount is actually being allocated to the use of the land alone versus the use of any other appurtenances that might be included? Whether or not there are any irrigation rights included in the lease. We know you can grow grass and corn without irrigation for silage, so that's a different kind of situation than being next to the river and having water rights. And then if there are irrigation rights, where are those coming from? A well, a river, pond, something like that, or is water being brought in? And then we have other, so anything else that seems like it might be relevant to help us discern what is, is this meeting the standard um, agricultural land lease in the county, or is there something special going on that might either make the price of the lease a little lower or a little higher that we should be taking into consideration? So that's what we came up with. Do you guys have any questions about that or suggestions? Or
Pretty straightforward.
Okay.
Looks
So,
good.
yeah, so once again, it's whatever information you have available. So it's not a matter you have to fill out everything. If you don't have all the information, any information is helpful to us. So we just appreciate what we can get and your efforts in doing that.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to go back and here just a second, share and go back to our agenda. Where is my agenda? Didn't work for me. Let's try again. go. Okay, so we're going to take a step back, and Eric, since you have joined us, we'd like to go ahead. We have a quorum. We'd like to go ahead and see if we can approve the minutes. Did you get a chance to read them?
Yes.
Okay, take a motion.
So move to approve the minutes.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Great, thank you. So there were a couple of other documents that we sent out to you. One was the bylaws and procedures, I believe. There are two documents that were used when the committee was first set up many years ago. So kind of would like to have everybody here to actually discuss those, but wanted to know if you had any questions about them or if they seem reasonable. And then maybe at the next meeting, we can get a decision on whether or not you want to adopt them.
Okay. I mean, they looked pretty straightforward to me.
Pretty standard.
Yep.
Okay.
But probably should have everybody.
Yeah,
I
I
have-
kind of want to make sure people don't have questions.
I have not taken a chance to look at them yet.
Okay, well, this will give
Yeah.
you a little bit of time to do that then. So the next part is proposing the next meeting to be held on June 10th at 3 p.m. Does that work for everybody?
Yes.
Should be okay.
Okay. And then hopefully at that time, you might have had the chance to gather some of the lease information or work with that document and see if it actually is going to do the job for you and for us. And then I think that that's when Diane will be actually needing to collect that information. So she might want to have some conversation with you at that time on what she's finding and seeing what you're finding and kind of sitting down where we ended up for this year for our evaluations on those properties.
Okay, so you want those forms collected, or you want them completed by that meeting?
Diane, is that correct?
I was going to check with Matt on that. We can send out an email if we need them
Okay.
sooner.
Okay.
We're getting really close to our deadline for valuation, so I'll check with Matt and get back to everybody.
Okay.
Actually, that was something that I had talked to Matt about. We've had a little bit of not time to all get on the same page. And if we can have them by the beginning of June, then we will be able to show you what we gathered at the June 10th meeting. And that's the idea of that meeting is like, okay, here's the
Okay.
collated data that you collected for us. And then we won't have had time to process it all yet, but at least we can convene about where we are at that point.
So
Have you-
Andy and Diane, in what form would you like to have it? I mean, they can just drop it by the office if they've done it
Just gonna ask.
in writing or scan them and send them in electronically. Does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
So
Yeah,
whatever's easy for
however-
you guys.
Right.
Yeah, whatever is easy for them. They can email them to the open space email that's on the bottom of the form if they would prefer to call the information in.
So you
Either
can do that too.
of us could take
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
If we're
So-
dropping off, where would that be?
Go to the first floor of the county administration building. I
County.
have a customer service center portion of that counter is the assessor's office. It's where you would go to fill out the senior exemption
Got it.
forms.
Okay.
Just drop them off there. Put Andy's name on it or Diane's name on it or mine, any of us. And like Andy said, if you want to just call us, you've got the information, you want to just call Andy or Diane,
Okay.
and we'll just take it over the phone. That works too.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else that you guys would like to discuss today? Any questions, concerns?
Yep, sounds pretty straightforward.
Okay, short and sweet.
Great.
Thank you so much for your help. I really appreciate it. It does help us out a lot getting that information. And keep your eye on that House bill going through the Senate. Hopefully it will make it through. And we will talk, if not sooner, on June 10th.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
See you
Bye-bye.
guys.
Bye.